you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So, is it okay if I record you for this session?
Yeah.
Okay. So, tell me what's going on in your relationship.
So actually I'm gonna talk about like a past relationship. So, it was a while ago. I was dating this guy and I found out that he was doing stuff behind my back. But like I was so in love with him that I didn't see it for myself without like everyone telling me. But then I eventually like got over myself and realized it. But like it was just hard for me to like get it through my head that like someone could actually hurt me. But now like it was harder for me to like trust people because of that.
How did it make you feel the first time someone told you that he was doing stuff behind your back?
It made me feel really worthless. Like I wasn't good enough for him. So like I didn't think that I was good enough for him or anyone.
How old were you in this relationship?
I was younger. I don't know exactly how old.
I think that happens a lot with relationships, especially when you're a teen. I know from past experiences, I had my first boyfriend when I was 14, and he was a lot more experienced than me, so having him pressure me into doing things and like telling me how to have a relationship, you're very young girls are very moldable, especially when you're that age and you just have a boy, like you're getting your first boyfriend. It's exciting. You don't want anything to go wrong. So how long did this relationship last? Like from first started doing things behind your back to like when you finally ended it?
So it was like a year and a half. So like it wasn't that like. So the first couple months were good, and then I eventually found out that he was talking to people, and then after that I was like, okay, it's just for his friends or whatever. And then towards the end, he did or talked to more people, but I think it was more than that. And he ended up getting with a girl that he said he wasn't going to get with after I broke up with him. So like it was kind of like, okay, you said that you don't have feelings for her of that kind, but yet as soon as I break up with you, you're with her.
Yeah. After my first breakup, my ex-boyfriend actually texted me and asked me for a girl's number, and I was like, okay, he's just like finding like just reaching out to someone. I'm like, that's fine. I gave it to him, and then they ended up hooking up, and I was asked both of them. They're like, no, we didn't do it. I'm like, why are you lying to me? it's ridiculous, especially when you're that young. It's so much drama. But
yeah.
So I'm assuming after you found out that he was with the girl that he told you not to worry about, I'm assuming you felt pretty bad. Am I correct?
Yeah. I definitely realized that I should have broke up with him sooner, and I would have been a lot happier, but it was just stupid.
Do you think that this relationship that relationship may have affected well, let me rephrase that. How do you think that relationship affected you now? Like, looking back on it, does it affect you?
I feel like it did because when I'm currently dating someone, and we've been dating for going on 5 years. So like going into that, I had a lot of like barriers up, and it was like really hard for me to feel like, it was really hard for me to be myself around him, just because I didn't want to get attached so quick, and if he was gonna like hurt me like how my ex did.
Yeah, of course. So have you found a way to kind of, I guess, love yourself again, kind of understand yourself and, respect your own feelings.
I definitely have, like I said, I had barriers up at the beginning of my relationship, and I feel like those weren't necessary, but they helped for me to, get back to how I was before I found out all of the bad stuff. And I feel like finding all that out has made me become stronger because, I don't put other people's emotions first. I try to put mine just because in the end, I'm like, I don't mean for this to sound like self-centered, but for me, I'm all that matters, and I need myself to be well before I can make sure anyone else is.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I think people need to love themselves first before they love someone else, because if they don't know how to love themselves, how are they going to love a significant other?
Yeah.
All right, so is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
All right, if you want to switch, I guess.
Okay, do you want me to record mine so that way it's not just one big?
I found it easier to just do one big one, but if your internet's slower, I mean, it's just harder to upload it from iMovie, but I can stop and then you can do it if you want.
Okay, that works. Just because my internet is really slow, so it takes forever when I try to upload the one big video.
Yeah. All right.
So, hi Kat, is it okay if I record this?
Absolutely.
Okay. If you'd like me to stop at any time, I can. If you'd like to start by telling me about a relationship problem that you've had.
So my freshman year of high school, I got my first boyfriend. He was a year older than me, and he had transferred to my high school the previous year, but had already dated 3 other girls by the time that I dated him. So he was a lot more experienced than me in a relationship. I was really awkward, standoffish, I would say. I was shy. So I think that he started taking advantage of my kind of, I don't know, maybe lack of self-love and self-respect, and kind of did whatever he wanted, but if I did something, then that was the end of the world for him. It got really bad. The relationship only lasted 6 months, and by the 4th month it was just, I don't know why I was trying to force the relationship to keep going. It was obvious that it wasn't working out and it was getting really toxic. But afterwards, that whole summer after, it was just me versus him on social media. It was awful, just bickering and friends going at each other. It was awful. He was just such a terrible person.
I've never personally had arguments over social media with a boyfriend or an ex, but I have experienced friendships, toxic friendships, where only one person can always be right, and it truly it makes you feel like the other person doesn't value you. Is that kind of how you feel?
He never really valued me. It's just, I think I thought he did, 5 years ago, but looking back on it, he didn't. And I mean, it was mostly me starting these fights. I would constantly subtweet about him, and he didn't have a Twitter then, but his friends did. And so his friends would show him the tweets, and I'd be, then they'd, all gang up on me.
So do you feel that if social media wouldn't have been a factor, not that you would have ended the relationship as friends, but it would have been a little bit less nasty?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it would have been way less nasty. I wouldn't have shared all of those thoughts that I had, those horrible thoughts, and all those subtweets if I didn't have social media. Instead, I kind of probably would have just kind of let them boil over. I did feelings a lot after, so I mean, there were definitely better outlets for me to turn to. I just, chose to take the, I can't really think of the word, the immature route, I guess you could say.
Yeah. But now that like you're looking back on that, you do realize like the flaws that not only he had, but like towards the end that you had. So like seeing those flaws has helped you to grow in like your future, or like from your past relationships, you can now like you've grown.
Yeah, I would say I definitely grew a lot from that relationship in particular. I think I kind of used that as an example of what not to do, and kind of just,
Mm-hmm.
based all of his behaviors, those are all red flags. So if I see a behavior in another guy that's like his, I'm like, that's a red flag. We're not doing this again.
Um, so how did like the whole situation make you feel?
Like the breakup or the fights over social media?
Kind of like the whole relationship leading into the breakups and then leading into the social media.
I think with like the last 2 months, I was I mean, a lot of it's kind of repressed. I don't really remember a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the relationship that well, but I remember being very angry towards him and my friends, because my friends were kind of like telling me to break up with him. I'm like, no, I love him, like, and it
Mm-hmm.
and then we broke up. He broke up with me over text, and it was kind of mutual. And then within a week, he blocked me, and I texted his sister. I was like, make him unblock me. And then I would start yelling at him, and then it would transpire over social media, and it was just, I was very angry from like April of 2015 until October 2015, and it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be better than him in every single way possible.
Was was your family like there for you to like channel
Oh
your
yeah,
anger?
my family hated him, so they were really happy I was out of that relationship.
Was there anything that I missed that you wanted to go over?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna end it then.
Uh,